We're back. We're back, everybody. I think it's episode 6 now. Who knows?
It might be.
Man, dude, we were just talking. He's got this water cup. It's a Knights cup hockey.
Vegas Golden Knights.
So I didn't even really follow hockey at all until I moved here. And I moved here the year right after they won the Stanley Cup.
Oh, word.
Like they, because didn't they, if I'm not mistaken, they came as like a brand new team.
Brand new.
Literally won that year.
Yeah, and you know how brand new teams start. And when you start a new franchise, you get the leftover bummy players.
Right.
Every team in the league that's already established, they pretty much donate one or two players to you. And they're not going to donate the good players. You get who's left over. But guess what? Vegas put together the Mighty Ducks.
It was great.
Yeah.
I was like, holy crap. And then from there, like, I just slowly inched into becoming a hockey fan. Like, I'm still not passionately, like, I've never been to one of the games. I got real close to one time.
Same.
But I really want to go. They look really fun.
It does look fun. I used to play the video games as a kid, but all I would do is I would just skate up to people and smack them. Because in the game, you could just fight until your whole team gets ejected from the game.
That's amazing that they have a fight function in hockey. That's how popular it is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's one of the reasons why I didn't grow up on hockey, though. Like, I grew up liking a lot of LA teams I was born in Phoenix, so Arizona teams were a close second. So, like, Coyotes, Diamondbacks, they were the close second to, like, the Dodgers, for example. But I didn't grow up watching hockey that much because my parents didn't like how much fighting was involved. They felt that in hockey, the fights they're not like punished the same way that they are in football.
That's true.
In football, it's unsportsmanlike conduct and it's a big deal. And
Yeah.
it really affects the pacing of the game.
Yeah.
In hockey, they kind of let it go for your amusement.
It's almost encouraged.
A little bit.
Yeah, you're supposed to
Yeah.
check people a little
And it's obvious that's true now because there's literally a button in the video game to fight people.
Yes. There's a smack the shit out of somebody button that you just... Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. Like I know that like you could get like flagrants in like 2K if you like try to steal it way too much.
Oh, yeah, same in hockey. Yeah. If you go overboard, like you just hit somebody who's just sitting there minding their business, yeah, you can't do that.
Dude, oh my God. But that's one of the things on my bucket list. And I'm not one to... I don't want to speak for it because I haven't been yet. But I can just say from experience, from other people's experience, people very close to me, the games are super fun. If you're in Las Vegas, stop by T-Mobile Arena, see a Vegas Knights game. They're hype, they're loud, they're passionate. Oh, man. I mean, like, okay, I'll tell you the one story that when I almost made it to a game.
Wait, how did you almost make it to a hockey game?
So I was in college, and I had 2 roommates, and one of them, I forgot exactly how, but one of them ended up with 2 tickets.
Okay.
But there's 3 of us.
Ooh.
And so he said, you know, like, in all fairness, we were all really cool, so it doesn't matter who goes and who doesn't.
Right.
But he decided to go rock, paper, scissors. He's just like, you two, just do rock, paper, scissors. Whoever wins gets a ticket.
Diplomatic.
And I lost, so I didn't go.
Oh, man.
But I actually went on the strip that night, and, like, there's a place outside. You know how not every, but I guess almost every stadium kind of has like a little sports complex around it.
Yeah.
So like here in Vegas, it's called Toshiba Plaza, and they've got that right outside of T-Mobile Arena. I went to like one of the bars. I think it's called, what is it? Oh God, what is that? Maybe I'm tripping. I'll cut this out. Hoffman, or is it Beer House or Beer Park or something like that? It's something like that. There's like a sports bar right next to the. I stayed there. And then I hung out in Toshiba Plaza and actually watched the game in real time. And then when the game got out, like, also they didn't have cars, so I drove them home. But when the game got out, like you got to feel the energy of just a passionate. They're coming off a win too. Passionate Vegas Knights crowd leaving and just bleeding out onto the strip.
I love it. I love the energy at live sporting events.
It's amazing.
Can't beat it.
And oh my God, so like speaking of. Literally last week, I went down to Phoenix and saw the Rams play in person.
I forgot about that.
I saw them play the Cardinals in Glendale, Arizona at the State Farm Stadium.
How did that feel, man?
You know, it was actually a really, really good time.
I know y'all were missing some players, so you didn't get to see everybody in action,
Yeah,
but it's
it was
still
tough.
your team.
It was tough. Puka Nacua was on the bench, and I actually have a video that I took of like Cooper Kupp limping off the field. I felt so bad.
Oh,
But The stars aligned. I had the days off, and tickets were not that expensive because it's the Cardinals. And I was like, hey, we live in Vegas. Phoenix is 4.5 hours away. Like, I woke up at 5 a.m. that morning and drove down there and went to the game at like 1.
The luxury of being able to just drive 4.5 hours on a whim because you don't have kids.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And like you could do the same thing at SoFi, like as a Rams fan. But let me start with SoFi is now I've never been, so I don't want to speak too heavily. But
Me neither.
I do know that SoFi it's a lot more expensive than State Farm Stadium. It's also the parking is a lot more of a shit show. Like it's busy everywhere, and
I can imagine.
it's expensive. You got to pay like $70 just to park.
Ugh.
And then on top of that, you're dealing with pretty much. It's not the greatest area of LA either, so it's not like it's not like it's a super walkable experience after the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all that being said, it made more sense for me to see an away game in Phoenix because they have this whole, it's called Westgate. They have this whole sports complex. It's very walkable. There's a lot of chains.
Westgate, like the casino?
So it's
Is it the same company?
It's not the same company.
Oh,
no.
okay.
It's like Westgate Entertainment District or something. And so I actually grew up seeing, my dad used to take me to Rams Cardinals games, and we used to like go to the Westgate area. So this whole trip was very nostalgic for me.
That's what's up, man.
It was really fun.
But overall, you really paid the price you paid for a ticket.
Yeah.
You would have paid in parking.
Oh, for sure.
To go to LA.
And not only that, I was on the closest level to the field in the visitor section. So I was surrounded by Rams fans. It was great.
This past February, I got to go to the Super Bowl, and I'm going to tell you, being at the Super Bowl, nothing like it. The energy in the building was magnetic. It was vibrant. It was... Now, I was working, so I wasn't able to drink or anything. I was completely sober. But I'm going to tell you something. Being completely alert and aware with 1,000 people just screaming at the top of their lungs and it was amazing, bro. And like,
dude,
bro, Beyonce drove past us in a golf cart. Well, she wasn't driving. She was in the back of the golf cart. Right. Her in blue. And I'm like looking for Jay-Z. Jay-Z apparently was like in a skybox, but they were going to meet him. Bro, celebrities were going. Luda walked up to us and said hi.
What?
Okay, so let me explain.
Yeah, how did you get here, man?
I worked for the Super Bowl halftime show. I was one of the people dancing on the field, doing the robot and shit on the field. Cool. I got to dance on the field during halftime for Usher's halftime performance. And bro, it was one of the best experiences ever. So for the month leading up to the show, I got to go to the rehearsals every day for a month and just watch Usher perform over and over and over. And I got paid to do it.
Wow.
So I got to meet Lil Jon, which was fire. He was amazing. He was my height too, which is great.
Hey, yeah.
Love to see a successful 5'7".
Yeah.
Love to see that. But no, it was really, really cool, man. It was really cool. And Jay-Z was at the rehearsal the night before the game. Oh. I got to stand 50 feet away from Hove.
Dude.
It was crazy, man.
That's so cool.
I didn't get to speak to him, but there was a moment where Alicia Keys walked like 10 feet in front of me, and I was shook.
It just melted.
Everything in me just started vibrating. She is gorgeous in real life.
I bet.
I mean, she's gorgeous on TV too, but in real life,
I bet.
My God.
Yeah, that's usually how those TV things translate.
Oh,
so
man.
the last Super Bowl was at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And it's at home. And I've been to Allegiant Stadium. I've never been for a Raiders game. But my last year at college, UNLV took over Allegiant and started playing there on Saturday.
Yes, and I will be there coming up for the Fresno game.
Dude, UNLV is actually doing really good this season.
Yes.
Their football team's killing it.
Oh, yeah.
Am I
doing really well?
We're top 25, right?
Top
We're like
25.
actually 25 or 24 ish.
We are in there.
Crazy.
It's really amazing.
So exciting.
Yeah, let me know if you want to come to the Fresno game.
Oh, I'd love to.
Next Saturday.
Okay, I think I have Saturday off.
Oh, word. Okay, bet.
Let's do it.
I believe I can get 2 student tickets.
Yes,
so
I forgot all about
I'm
that.
definitely going to the game.
Okay,
for sure.
I would love to go.
Yeah.
Traffic is not that bad at Allegiant when it's a UNLV game.
No.
But traffic when it's an NFL game, it's a different story.
Terrible.
Different
but just
story.
being in the stadium is really cool.
It's a beautiful stadium.
The Raider Stadium is brand new.
It's
fire. And there's so much Nevada pride in there. Like, there's a lot of really cool history inside of the building. Really dope artwork. Whether you're a Raiders fan or not, it's just cool to be around all that NFL money.
NFL money is ridiculous, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Just what they can put together and the production value of every single broadcast. And then not only that, but just my perception. It's been over 10 years. It was 14 years since I had been to an NFL game since last week. And walking in there as an adult totally changed. Like, I was just like, wow, like this is entertaining. The energy is unreal. The passion is unreal.
It is. It's different.
It's incredible.
Because every game is important.
Right.
I've been to maybe 30, 40 basketball games.
Okay. Yep.
Because I used to go watch the Milwaukee Bucks. I grew up in Milwaukee. I would go see Bucks games all the time because throughout my childhood, the Bucks were terrible. You could get Bucks tickets for $5. So my family, we go to Bucks games all the time. Now you got to pay for a Bucks game.
Sure, you're gonna see Giannis, bro.
Right,
it's gonna cost you.
They got a new stadium now.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, to go now. It's the Pfizer Forum. It's a brand new stadium.
Okay.
Beautiful building. But the old stadium, the Bradley Center, was terrible. It was a big multi-purpose room that was used for whatever the night before. The night before, it might have been a dodgeball tournament.
Oh, man, okay. It's one
they didn't even finish picking up the balls. It was awful, man. It was awful. You could get floor Buck seats when I was a kid for like $60. You could be behind the players for like $80.
That's
crazy.
actually really cool, though. I mean,
yeah.
You got to get people to those games. There's a lot of NFL games that aren't like completely selling out right now.
Facts.
Like, I mean, you know, I had a lot of people tell me good things about SoFi, and a lot of people, you know, Allegiant usually does really good.
Yeah.
And, like, there are other places that do really well too. But I mean, the only con about that whole experience with me down in Phoenix is the Rams got their butts crushed. We got crushed. So to say I still had an enjoyable time was really saying something, because, like, man, it was a tough loss. So,
that's how football is. I mean, not only do we wait for months with no football.
For like what? For 16 games? That's all, you know?
And if you're not a tennis fan, you don't have anything in the summer.
Oh, true.
If you're not a baseball or a tennis fan, there's like a big period where you go with nothing for you.
It really is summer break.
But every single football game is important because there's not that many of them. Whereas with basketball, you can lose 20, 30 games in a season.
And still go to the championship, right? Like, yeah, you'll be all right.
Football, you can't lose them. Every game is equally important.
Yeah.
So the energy is different because there's more at stake.
It's true. You know, it's scarcity at its finest.
Yeah.
You know, and like, I'm going to completely switch the momentum of this conversation.
Which is fine with me because I haven't watched the latest episode of... so I get all my sports opinions from a podcast called Technical Foul.
Okay.
It is a great show, and I haven't watched this week's episode yet. So if you were to ask me any sports questions, I'd be stumped. I get all my opinions from that show. So
hey, I love it. Like, okay, so one of the other things I've been doing right now is a lot, and this is not new, but I'm doing a lot of music work, right?
Of course.
A lot of mixing, a lot of back-end projects. And one of the things I'm working on right now is an old demo from January. It's now September, so that's 9 months ago.
Oh.
9 months ago, I've got this demo that I knew I wanted to make a full song. You know, something along the way just didn't like fully click, so it ends up getting put in the vault. It happens, right?
Right.
And I went to revisit it because I found, hey, you know, I finally met an artist that I think would be a great feature. And I'm like, and this demo is their sound. So now I'm going to bring this demo to fruition, right? It has a spot now.
Okay.
So I took the demo and I worked on it for quite a while. And I started to question myself. I started to be like, is this even good? Should I rewrite the lyrics? Should I rewrite the hook? You know, like it really... I got used to the demo, and this is something that I wanted to talk about today called demo-itis.
Demo-itis.
Demo-itis is an artist's biggest problem, biggest setback, because an artist will start judging their demos.
Yeah.
Like, in a different light, once they've let it sit for too long. Like, the common theme of demo-itis is that they get used to how the demo sounds.
Absolutely.
So once it's time to fully fledge out the main studio version, they don't like it as much as they like the demo.
Right. I can 100% relate to that.
Yeah.
I've definitely gotten used to, sometimes you fall in love with a specific vocal take you did. And sometimes the raw, unedited version of a song, there's a vocal quality that you might get that analysis by, what is it? Paralysis by analysis, where it's like, I don't know if I can ever achieve that tone again.
Right.
I don't know if I can do that take the exact same way again.
It's
and
true.
I don't want to let go.
You know, and like the biggest thing about that is and I wonder if other artists share this too. So I'll bring this up. Like, oftentimes, it's not all the time, but oftentimes, the best time to get the most pure main take vocals is like right when things are fresh, right when you're feeling the emotions of the beat. You just wrote it. You're feeling how powerful what you wrote is.
Right.
Like, it's so authentic then. Once you like record it, let's say you record it just to get the idea down,
right,
and then you revisit it 7 months later, you might not be in that same space that you were when you were creating that.
Exactly.
And so like I always try my best to, once I'm in that space, just nail out the main vocal, because I know how hard it is to get back to that spot.
It's very, very difficult.
This was one of those cases where I had to get back to the spot. I didn't have a choice.
So you had to force yourself to get back into that.
I had to force myself.
That's tough.
And that's one of those things. When you force yourself, it's so many people say, stop having demos, finish your projects.
Right.
Finish. That's the most important thing.
Which is valid.
It's true. It is. But there comes a point when you're balancing the trade-off of, do I finish this just to get it done, or can it be better if I wait until I'm back in that zone again? But I've also, the reason why I have a vault of 50 plus unreleased songs is because there are some songs I will probably never get back into that same space again.
Right.
But the truth is, the audience hasn't heard any of this yet.
Exactly. And that's one of the main reasons why, you know, I love to hear the old stories about Quincy Jones in the studio with Michael Jackson for the Thriller album. He would make Michael Jackson record every single song around 10 or 11 times. So they would do 10 to 15 takes of every verse, every hook, every background vocal had like 10 to 12 different takes. So that way Mike would have to, Mike had to perform these songs so many times in the studio, so that way Quincy could take the best parts of every performance and mix them into a super take.
Right.
Know?
Yeah, that's called vocal comping. To those of you who do not do music, it's vocal comping is a trick that we use all the time. You know, it comes down sometimes to not even the full word. Sometimes it comes down to like a syllable of the word. Like if artists are singing a word and there's like one specific take where they had like perfect emotion and vibrato balance.
Right.
You want to bring that out, but then that take, they may have gotten that one word down, but then like a phrase later, it's not as good.
But knowing that, right, it should take some of the pressure off of you as an artist, because Michael Jackson, yes, Thriller's a perfect song. Billie Jean's a perfect song. But he didn't do it in one perfect take.
Oh, no.
He did it in maybe 20, 30, 40 imperfect takes. And Quincy Jones kept the best 10 of them and made a perfect take out of those. And so I think one of the lessons to be taken from that is you don't have to get back in that perfect headspace. You do your reps. You do your repetitions. And you bring in somebody who you can trust to help you if need be.
Absolutely.
Because Michael never thought that Thriller was done. Quincy had to snatch.
I remember hearing that. Yeah, he didn't like it.
Michael never thought it was done.
Yeah.
Quincy eventually had to say, all right, that's enough. We got to take what we got and make the best of it. And to me, it's a perfect album. No mistakes.
Really, really good.
You can play it from beginning to end. But for him, his artist brain was like, nah, we can still tighten this up.
We're perfectionists at heart.
Right.
And I mean, that's why you hear studio music sound as good as it does. It's because people, they drill it hard, man.
Right.
To get it exactly how they want to get it. Because once it's out and once it's released, you know, you can never change it, really.
Yeah. And you know, the weird thing about demoitis, right? Comparing your demo that you got used to in your head to actually recording. One of the weird things about it is you got to think about the finished product, right? If you are trying to make a living as an artist, eventually at some point you have to perform this song.
Yeah.
You have to perform it. And so you should get used to doing it over and over and over and over. I think by being too overly critical, you're trying to set a standard that you could never repeat again.
It's true. You're absolutely right.
I think it's way more important to make a song that you can perform than trying to come up with that perfect take that matches the demo. That's overthinking it.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
It is. And like, you know, oftentimes for me, if I'm demoing something, the vocals that I have are actually not like 100% full out. In a dance, they call full out. full out vocals. Like it's usually just like a 70% like subpar half-assed version of me singing like my idea.
Right.
But then like later on I look back and I go, shit, I shouldn't have done that because I was in a great space. I should have just sang.
Right.
So nowadays I just sing.
Yeah.
But before, you know, you're still left with all these all past demos.
Yeah.
A lot of them have a spot.
Right.
And so, you know, like that's one of the things that is incredibly fun. And nowadays with the barrier of entry being so low to starting music, it's much easier for people at home to accumulate demo after demo after demo.
And the purpose of demos has changed over time. Back in the 80s, 90s, even the early 2000s, before the internet really boomed and social media became a thing, demos had a completely different purpose. Before, your demo tape actually did need to sound polished because your demo tape was what you used as your calling card. So the idea was this, right? In order to get signed to a major label, you would work on a few songs, you would throw shows and perform those songs. You would try to, if you could, record footage of you performing these songs to show that you can draw a crowd. A lot of artists had street teams. So those street teams are going out, putting flyers on cars, inviting people to shows, and you're trying to put together a press kit, a press package that you would either physically take to a record label or mail it in.
Back in the day, people would just wait outside of label buildings with their CD.
And the point of your demo was to show a record label, hey, look, this is the business I've built so far on my own. So imagine what I can do with your help, with your money backing me. Imagine how much better this music will sound. That was the point of a demo back in the day.
Right.
And that it's changed a lot.
See, because it still is that to an extent, and it can be that, but in today's age, with the mixing tools we have now, it's almost expected for you to have a polished studio version of your song before a label even considers you.
They're not going to put any money into you that you haven't already put into yourself.
No.
Also, the rule is generally, well, actually, okay, it was kind of always like this, but it really is like this now. You don't reach out to labels and expect a miracle. There's maybe a handful of artists ever that sent a demo in and somebody heard it and said, whoa.
Yeah. That's very rare.
We used to think that was the way, but that's very rare.
It's true.
And it doesn't happen. Record labels come find you. That's what happens. They're scouting the internet all day. So they used to be on the ground scouting people, going to shows at local venues, just, you know, searching for people in the newspaper who may be like booking a show and doing some kind of event. The artist and repertoire, the people who would go out and look for artists to develop, they would actually have to do the groundwork of searching for people in real life. But now they search for artists on the internet. The way it works is you make your own buzz now. You create and generate your own following, and labels will come find you. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Your demo is not to get the record label's attention.
No. If you've got a demo vocal, it means you got to get it done, bro.
Your buzz gets the record label's attention.
And like, you know, nowadays there's something that we wanted to talk about today is the barrier of entry in general to this industry, and the fact that it's changed a lot. And whether it makes it easier or harder as an artist, you know. I can say without a low barrier of entry, there's a chance that I might never be an artist, honestly. Like without the tools of the internet and without the accessibility of today's digital equipment, I don't think I would have ever had the passion to step out of my realm and get invested into a totally separate studio. Like you're paying a lot to get your way through. And then if you want to start working with things and recreating things at the caliber of the professionals, you need to start investing in soundboards and compressors, like real hardware setups. And you need to have like hardware for everything. Like you need to have like a de-esser, an EQ. Like those of you who don't mix, this is probably going over your head. But you need equipment that is very expensive. Yeah. Like I'm talking like base $10,000 at least just to step foot in the door. And then now you have all this equipment. How the hell are you going to know how to use it?
Yeah. And you know what? Labels aren't looking for diamonds in the rough. They're not
No.
looking for something
They don't
can
need
polish
to
up. No,
anymore.
they're looking for finished products already.
Right.
So now the purpose of a demo is to already be polished and done and show a label, look what I did without you.
If anything,
Now, what
we
can
don't
you
even
add?
call them demos anymore.
No.
It kind of is a demo to the label, but
Right.
it's your freaking real song now.
Right. Now a demo is this album that I put my heart into for 5 months
Right.
and uploaded to SoundCloud or to DistroKid or whatever. Now your demo is your EP, your album. So it's a little different.
And back in the day, and I say this like I know it. I really don't. But back in the day, the circle of musicians was a lot smaller.
Right.
Like, it still is a small world, but if you were to somehow cross the lane into you're making really good studio albums and you're actually like passionately pursuing that realm before the age of the internet,
Right.
your odds of like connecting with the people that are important were honestly a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Like nowadays there are so many circles and so many people trying to start things, and the barrier of entry is so much lower. It's easier to be an artist. It's easier to get your stuff out there, but it's harder to get in touch with those quote unquote important people.
Yeah, I think I've heard the argument though that it's way easier because now you can just record music in your room and just upload it to the internet, and
Right.
you can just DM you can just Google who is the CEO of Sony Records, find their email address online, send off your tape,
Done.
and you can get access to people who you never could get access to before. That is a gross oversimplification, and it's just not true. The CEO of Def Jam Records is not looking at your email. They're not checking out your music. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, sure, it's easier than ever to upload. I don't know what the statistics are, but I bet if I Googled how many songs are uploaded to SoundCloud or YouTube daily.
I think to streaming platforms, now this is a ballpark, and I think I've heard it's around 10,000 a day.
a day. So how do you cut through the noise?
For real.
As an artist, I would argue that it's harder than ever now because now there's so much noise you got to get through.
Yeah.
There's so many. You're not the only person in Usher's DMs, okay?
No.
Maybe Usher had time to discover Justin Bieber back in the day because YouTube was still becoming the platform it is. But now there's thousands of Justin Biebers on YouTube
Right.
making great music, and they'll never be discovered because they have to cut through the noise. And some of these artists sing just as well as them, look just as cute as them.
Yeah.
How do you differentiate yourself
Yeah.
in a world where anybody can just become a musician?
The standards are a lot higher. Labels don't even bat an eye at you unless you have a following, for the most part.
Yeah.
Or you have to have something maybe of technical skill to offer the label that they're in need of. And a lot of ways how people fit into the labels is they start working with subcategories and subgroups. Like, like for example, like UMG, Universal Music Group, is very large, but they're underneath another big branch, and then underneath Universal is like Interscope and like a bunch of different subdivisions, and then underneath Interscope are like a bunch of independent labels like Dreamville.
Yeah.
Did I say that right? I'm bragging.
Dreamville?
Dreamville, right?
Yeah.
That's J. Cole.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So like I know for a fact that his is like a subgroup,
Right.
And like other subgroups, there's a bunch of subgroups under Columbia, because a lot of these artists, they'll actually create their own label, and then rather than signing their artistry and their rights away, they use their own label and they like lease the rights, and they say, you can sign my label. I'm still an independent artist.
Right.
Sign my label. It's a separate entity. And then a lot of people do it that way, like through LLCs or whatever.
Right.
Like people don't even care about this, honestly. But it is true. That's how it's done. And it's just, it's one of those things where you almost wonder, your label has to be able to do things that these subgroup labels can do before you start being considered in that. That loop.
Yeah, and I think the question becomes, one of the questions that I don't know that we answered is it easier today now with
You're
the
right.
internet, right?
Yeah.
I would argue, in a way, it's easier than it's ever been to collaborate.
Yes.
I can work with producers and engineers across the country, across the world.
Yes.
So it's easier to reach out to some people as well.
Because back in the day, there was a way to collaborate with people from studios far away,
Right.
but there was like a latency. Like there was a certain, it wasn't exactly as real time as it is now, and it was possible, but you had to have a lot of equipment to pull it off.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I have worked personally with people remotely incredibly easy. Like the barrier of entry there is a no-brainer. It's so much easier.
Right.
But in terms of like, you know, being an artist and succeeding at it, statistically speaking, it's way harder now because there are way more people doing it than people succeeding at it.
Yeah, and also the music business as a whole is changing because these major record labels are panicking.
Oh, yeah.
They're not making as much money as they used to.
True.
And they're still trying to figure out how streams work. Well, they know how they work. They're just now starting to become more transparent with artists about how much money they've been making off these artist streams.
Yeah.
And it's a new hustle, right? Like all these record labels are getting more into focusing on tech, focusing on social media, focusing on other types of content. And making music is just not profitable enough to get these major acts to drop an album. Making music ain't worth it to Rihanna.
Yeah, it used to be all about the oh my God, I'm fucking killing me.
The music business is not about music anymore.
You're right.
That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
It's always been about money, but now the music itself is not making these labels enough money to keep the lights on.
Yes, the rights used to matter so much. Like back in like 2008, 2010, like the big Napster thing.
Oh yeah.
You know, when people used to just pirate their music, these labels were freaking out because there's a lot of money there. And honestly, it actually comes down to a lot more personal. Like it comes down really to the management of these artists because the managers are the people who profit off their artist performance. And when a person drops a song and it gets downloads, that's money.
Right.
Or it should be money in theory, but people were using things like Napster back then to like just pirate the music. The managers were missing out on money, and then this whole thing happened where now labels are starting to sue random consumers just to try to prove a point,
which is
like
crazy.
For hundreds of thousands of dollars for pirating songs. Like, and they won a lot of those cases too, but the sheer volume the labels can't keep up legally. They couldn't keep up with the wave. And so once that happened, the sources of income changed. Like now it's like, okay, you know, there has always been a place for sync licensing and for TV placements, but nowadays the money in the money in music comes from the musician's brand and what they are able to sell to their audience. It's not the music itself anymore.
Yeah. What ads can we attach to these people?
Exactly.
What products can we sell through them? Can we get access to these people's data by having them just mindlessly click on things and subscribe to streaming services? You know, so it's a lot different now. The people are the product, which is kind of scary.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of fitting for spooky season.
You're right.
The scary music industry.
I was saying, man, like the times are changing, and so are the seasons, man. Like it is fall in Las Vegas. If you live in the Southwest, like in Phoenix or Palm Desert, Palm Springs, whatever, it is hot.
Yes, and I love this time of year because it finally starts to cool down.
It cooled down, everybody.
Praise the Lord.
We're back down to 90-degree highs, 80-degree days, and 59-degree nights.
It feels so good.
Oh, it's glorious.
It feels so good. Yeah, that's why I could finally pull out a tank top.
It looks great on you, man.
Oh, thanks. It's
looks
very,
great.
very comfy.
I'm wearing the button down. I don't know. I wanted to look a little dapper today.
My boy 6th of August put me onto these knit shirts, man. These are so comfortable. I can't even begin to. This is not an ad. Hey, we just got done talking about
for
ads.
The audience, how much is one of those tank tops, man?
I'll never tell.
No, is it good or is it bad?
No.
Is it affordable?
Actually, so it depends, right? I got mine on sale. I went to Tilly's and got it on sale. But there are some websites that are taxing for the same exact shirt. I just got mine on a discount. I probably wouldn't have bought it if it was full price. I probably wouldn't have, to be honest.
Valid.
Because why would I pay more for a shirt with no sleeves? Less material?
You're right.
That's crazy.
You're absolutely right.
I'm paying hoodie prices.
Yeah. Hoodies are not cheap, bro. The thing about tank tops, bro, you gotta fill them out a little bit. Tank tops don't look as good on a skinny guy like me.
That's why I gotta do my shoulder shrugs,
look
trying
at
to get my shoulders bigger.
Look at his shoulders, bro. Damn.
That's hilarious, bro.
But fall season's coming in hot. Like it's getting
is.
windy. The fires are still really bad in California.
I love this season though, bro. Spooky season is my favorite time of the year. I don't know if we've really talked about this, but I'm a huge fan of anything creepy, horror related, scary, whatever you want to call it, true crime, all of that, all the scary stuff. I love horror movies especially.
Okay.
I love scary movies because when you turn on a scary movie, you can expect one of two things. Either A, it's going to be genuinely scary and creepy, which is thrilling.
Okay.
Or B, it's going to be so bad that it's hilarious. So either way, it's entertaining.
Valid. See, horror movies are not something I grew up with. Like I grew up, so I'm an anxious person.
Yeah.
I grew up in like this kind of mindset of like, and this is influenced by my parents, of course, but it's one of those things where I didn't watch a lot of horror movies because to me, I was like, I don't want to subject myself to like all these scary, like I don't enjoy being frightened or like I don't get off on the thrill of the adrenaline.
Fair enough.
Like, and so if I like, it's not like the worst thing. It's not like it like haunts me, but if I, I'll leave it and be like, man, there are some disturbing images in my head now.
Fair enough. I'm all gung ho about scary movies until I'm in the shower washing my hair, and all of a sudden, all the scary things that now I can't open my eyes because I'm shampooing. All the scary images are gonna come flooding back while my eyes are closed.
Like there's this movie called, I think it's The Conjuring, to be honest. And is that the one with like the room 307, like 307 stuff? There's one of those movies has like a bunch of 307 stuff. The point is, I had a roommate in college who like literally, kind of ended up leaving the movie and following him in the sense of like 307 started haunting him in his actual life.
He started seeing 307s everywhere?
Yes. And like I understand the new car effect. You get a new car, you start noticing it everywhere, right? But this guy, like, it was crazy. Like he had a bunch of stuff like 307, like his grandma, for example, like passed away on March 7th.
Oh no.
In room 307 at like 3:07 p.m. or some shit like that.
That's crazy.
It was insane.
That's
and
crazy.
I was like, you know what? Like, I understand these movies are man-made and whatnot, but like, if there is some sort of spiritual connection, that pushes the bar for me, and it makes me just like terrified to start making those associations.
That would drive me crazy,
wouldn't it?
And then he went to Starbucks. He bought his coffee, and she was like, "Your change is 307."
Hey, and yo, for real, they probably got pumpkin spice. Pumpkin spice at Starbucks. Dude, I'm telling
That's
you. That's
another spooky season vibe right there.
Pumpkin spice, I have just like, I grew up with a Starbucks near everything of mine, and pumpkin spice is like the isn't it like the classic white girl? It
is.
Total, just, oh my God, it's pumpkin spice season. Yeah. Pumpkin pie.
Yeah, that's a white girl thing, 100%.
Man, hey, but it's getting there. You know what I really
But good for y'all. White women should have something.
They got to, man.
Yeah.
What do white men have? Cheese curds?
I love cheese curds. But
I'm getting cheese curds later today. That's why I said that.
No, white men have a lot of stuff. Y'all got Wrangler jeans.
Okay, you're right.
That's y'all bag.
Levi's count too. Are those white?
Having a good offensive line. White men got plenty of stuff. Y'all don't need no more. Y'all got a lot. Being the president.
Hey, you're right. Obama doesn't count.
No, that was a one-off.
You're right.
That was a fluke. No,
no, like, and so what you see around this time, you see pumpkin spice, you see people, you see Halloween parties, man. People are always dressing up in different costumes.
Do you dress up?
Yes, but it's always within the realm of like my personality. I never dress up as like an exuberant character like I did as a kid,
What was your favorite Halloween costume?
I'll tell you the one. I wore this Halloween costume for maybe 4 years in a row.
Oh, snap.
I was Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother. And I wore a Halloween suit. I had this orange and black suit.
No.
And I used to suit up every Friday, but then for Halloween I would wear the Halloween suit.
Did anybody actually guess who you were?
So I had some friends in school who guessed correctly because
What?
they were
Okay.
in the loop that I was
Got
a huge How I Met Your Mother fan.
Got it.
But so they were like, "Oh, okay, you're Barney Stinson because you're not wearing the ducky tie today, whatever it is." But like I would always dress up as that because it was just easy for me and it was like a fun go-to suit up for Halloween. You know,
That's fair.
Like it'd be a little spooky season.
But
suit.
you never entered like a Halloween costume contest.
No, I wish I did. I know there are like bars and all kinds of competitions and clubs that do
Yeah,
it.
I won one year.
What were you?
I was Steve Harvey. Bro, I committed to this costume too. I shaved my head. Yeah. So I bought a fake mustache. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture. I have to send it to you.
That'd be great.
Bro, I committed too. I cut all my hair off. I shaved my head bald. And I had a fake mustache, and I walked around with like a microphone and a suit on.
No way. Family feuding?
I was family feuding. I won. I won like $50.
That's still
But
dope. Man.
I
That's dope.
won.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
There was one year I wanted to go as Conan O'Brien.
Where?
You know the comedian,
Oh, no,
the
that's
ginger
good.
comedian. So I found a ginger wig and like
That's a good
and
one.
I don't know if you guys ever watched Conan growing up, but he does
Yeah.
this little jump in the beginning of every one of his shows.
Yeah.
I went trick or treating and did like the Conan jump. To see if anybody got it. Nobody got it. Nobody got it, dude.
That's a good idea.
It was
Conan
it was
O'Brien.
so good in my head. I loved Conan, man.
You got some mature Halloween costumes. Very mature.
I just like I grew out of if it's not Star Wars, I'm not like I don't want to be it. I loved being Captain Rex and clones and Darth Vader, Power
Word.
Rangers when I was a young kid.
Yeah.
But then like once I got into middle school, I was like, okay, it's got to be like things I'm doing and enjoying. Nowadays, there was one year I was Slenderman, loved that. That was very fun.
Slenderman?
Fit my body well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, morph suit and everything. Yeah, it was
That's
great.
terrifying.
No, and like one of my favorite movies too. Like I guess this is kind of both Halloween and Christmas, but Nightmare Before Christmas is like my favorite thing.
Jack Skellington is
Dude,
the
I
man.
love Jack Skellington and like everything about his character. I wear pajamas, Jack Skellington pajamas.
I
got
like
a
girls
water
that
bottle.
like that movie. I don't know, for some reason, girls.
Yes.
I always vibe with women that
Yes.
like Nightmare Before Christmas.
Dude, I don't know what it is about it, bro.
It's something about
There's
that.
something about that movie. Okay. I'm gonna be PG-13.
Uh-oh.
Bro, I have heard, and I want you to please comment on this if
Yeah.
you know. I have heard that there is a Jack Skellington kink out there. People like the tall, skinny, slender, spooky, weird, janky look.
I wouldn't know anything about that. I mean, I might be a little spooky, but I don't fit any of the
No,
other.
I'm telling you. I mean, maybe it's from personal experience, maybe
Uh-huh.
not. But I'm just saying. Like there's a lot of people who, in a non-weird way, find aspects of Jack Skellington attractive.
Wow.
Correct me if I'm wrong, internet, because
That
I
is-
don't think I'm wrong.
No, please let us know, because I wasn't aware of this.
There's something about just his demeanor that I think it's spooky, but it's also loving, but it's also intimidating and hateful, but it's also like girls love that shit, man.
Oh, snap. You know what? Maybe another reason why I love scary stuff is because it's fun to watch it with a date, with somebody who you trying
true.
to cuddle with.
True.
The best cuddling is when y'all both scared for y'all life.
You know what? I'll agree
Oh.
with that. The only time I've ever watched a horror movie in my life was on a date. So
That's the best way to watch it, because that way, right? Both of y'all are terrified. We can't sleep alone. We got to sleep with our backs to each other so we can watch each other's back. What?
that's smart.
You got to stay tonight. Hey, we got.
That's tactical.
You can't watch a horror movie with me and then just leave me to fend for myself.
Yeah, you are right.
We got to stick together.
Hey, this
Yeah,
man, you need to
that's
listen to this
right.
man. He's got the game for you guys.
I
man.
do want to know what you find scary. So I did put together a this or that scary edition.
Shoot. Okay.
So I'm going to name two things and I want you to tell me which is scarier.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. This or that. Vampires or werewolves?
Did we talk about this before? Wait, can I just digress for 1 sec?
Of course. This is your
Vampires
show.
and werewolves. Dude, as a kid, I loved vampires and werewolves.
Really?
Loved them.
I still love
I
vampires.
wanted to be both. I had days where I literally like would convince my friends I was a vampire.
I did the
days
same
where I
thing.
did the same thing with a werewolf.
I did that too.
Dude, I loved it. I watched Teen Wolf.
Yep.
I watched Now, a big one in my age, because I'm younger than you, Wizards of Waverly Place.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it.
I love that, too.
There was Bridget Mendler played the vampire.
Yeah, that was fire.
And then I
Did you watch
forget his
Buffy?
name, but there was that British Buffy
the Vampire Slayer?
No.
That might have been before your time.
But I know of it, though.
Oh, okay.
I know of it. Like there was the werewolf from Wizards was like that. I think his character name was Mason. He was like a British guy.
Right.
Everybody loved him. Dude, it was awesome. I loved pretending to be a vampire. It was so much fun.
Vampires are cool.
Yeah, they are so cool. So I guess now, though, if I have to pick between the two, I'm going to go vampire.
Okay.
Because, man, like I like the werewolves. The werewolves hold the masculinity, but the vampires, man, dude, girls love vampires,
Vampires are
bro.
smooth.
And I think sometimes I feel like I look like a vampire. I'm tall, I'm white, and like well, vampires are usually very pale skinned.
True.
They look like they're about to pass out. Because
do.
they have no blood and they're living too long.
No vitamin D. Yeah.
So, like, there have been times, like, when I lose, like, a good amount of weight and my cheekbones start showing, and I'm like, hey, I look kind of like a vampire. Like, someone sucked the life out of me.
No, actually, I can see the appeal of that.
Right.
And vampires normally have a lot of money. They normally live in cool castles. Because if you think about it, you can't go outside during the day.
You're right.
Your crib got to have everything you need in it. Right? And I'd be rich and well put together if I had 300 years to get my shit together.
A cape, an organ. You get to play freaking music all the time and bite people's necks. Dude, girls love that.
Vampires are dope. Yeah. They got their own cribs.
Yeah. Werewolves, they just they can't control it. One day they're a man, night comes, all of a sudden they're hairy and beastie, and they want to be a man still, but when the moon's out, they can't.
Werewolves don't even have a reliable power.
No, they don't.
You don't even get to control when you turn into some... No. And I think I could kill a werewolf with enough warning. Mm-hmm. I think if you started to turn into a werewolf right now, you would
right.
Get away. I'm not scared of that. You get way too much warning with a werewolf. A vampire, though, they're fast and sneaky.
Like
and
a snake,
you don't realize that they're a vampire until their teeth are in your neck.
How do you... So I know that you can mythically kill a vampire by... Is it... So
stake through the
I
heart.
know that there's a wooden stake. Is also like the whole water on... Is that a witch? The water on a vampire, does that do anything?
Water
no?
on a vampire? No.
Okay, so how do you kill a werewolf? Is
you
there
can
like a thing?
also burn a vampire.
Oh, you can burn one?
Yeah.
But isn't that with the daylight? Is that the daylight, right?
Either or.
Okay.
Fire does the job.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah. Fire does the job.
But like werewolves, is there a stereotypical way to kill a werewolf?
Silver bullets.
Silver bullets
I
should have known that.
Yeah.
I should have known that.
Werewolves. Or you can just wait for him to turn back into a human and just kill him the normal way. As you can tell, I got bias against werewolves. I used to love them as a kid. I thought werewolves were super cool.
They are awesome.
But as a practical matter, I don't know, man. The idea of somebody being powerful sometimes, it's just not that scary to me.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You a part-time killer.
Like the Hulk. Hulk only smashed when smashing his Hulk.
I wouldn't say that to the Hulk's face, but yeah.
Okay, true. Yeah, I get ruined.
All right, so vampires took the first round.
Okay, yeah.
How about this? Vampires or ghost?
Oh my God, dude. Dude, I grew up also, my mom's obsessed with Ghost Adventures.
Really?
And Zach Bagans. And like the fact that we are in Las Vegas.
Have you been there?
No.
I would like to go, but...
Dude, I heard like actual feedback that there's real spiritual shit there.
I'm kind of scared to go to that house. I've heard that you got to sign something that says, yo, if you get haunted, it's not on us. I'm like, even if that's just like a joke or like something to rile it, it worked on me. I don't know.
No, have you been?
No, but
You've never been. Okay.
There's a billboard that has a part of the disclaimer on it where it's like, oh, people have experienced paranormal things after visiting, so visit at your own risk.
It's totally true. And one of the things, now there was one of my friends, I think it was a professor of mine in college, who was actually friends with Zach Bagans.
Oh, really?
And went to the museum, and this was kind of after hours. And Zach, like, I think there's like this box in there. I don't know if it's like a box of souls or whatever they call it, but there's like a box that supposedly has some like spirits inside of it. And Zach fucking opened it like in front of the person, and they experienced it together, and then he ended up getting a little shaken up, so he closed it and put it aside or whatever. When that person left, they had experiences like that, the haunting following, they felt like they shouldn't have stepped in that realm. They felt like they shouldn't have messed with them. I have never had a defining ghost experience in my life, but my grandma to this day believes that she was born in a haunted house.
Word.
In my great grandma's house, in Virginia. They had an old house. They have several, both the mom and the daughter. So my great grandma and my grandma have several recollections of ghost encounters in that house, whether it's voices or what do they call those? Not like, there's like a special term for the figures that show up.
Like apparitions.
Apparitions.
Yeah.
Coming down their stairs.
Oh, no.
Doorknobs turning.
So my plan for if I ever see a ghost is I would give it to a ghost over a vampire, by the way, because
Okay. I never answered.
there are documented ways to kill a vampire.
Okay, yeah.
But a ghost, unless you got a strong ass vacuum cleaner.
You're right, dude. We gotta call Ghostbusters, man.
My plan though, if I was ever to see a ghost, is to ignore it. Because I think
pretend that you're not one of the ones that
I gotta
sees
pretend
it?
like I'm just not a special person. I can't see you. Can't see it. I'm gonna mind my business. I'm gonna walk right through them. Can't see it. Sorry, buddy. Go bother somebody with the vision. Go bother somebody with paranormal talent.
Dude, I have a friend who who I grew up with, who played. Have you ever seen the movie Odd Thomas?
Yes,
Dude, I have a friend who
and
played
only
in that
he
movie.
What?
Yeah, he played the flashback version of Thomas. So like,
that's fire.
There's like some kid scenes.
Yeah,
he played that guy, and dude, Odd Thomas is one of those stories where the guy, he's one of the only people that can see the ghosts.
I would never want to let a ghost know that I can see them.
Yeah, that is crazy, because then they'll feel like, I've got a friend.
Oh, now I got an audience.
Exactly.
I've been
so
waiting
scary.
500 years for an audience.
Dude, oh my God. I've got a couple of things that really spook me out. Ghosts is one of them, but I've never had a super convincing ghost story happen to me personally, so it doesn't haunt me like that.
Right.
But I want to keep going with this game because I want to see if you bring up one of the things that really haunts me. So
Okay.
in that case, because of everything of how viable a ghost actually is in today's world versus a vampire, ghosts.
Okay.
Ghosts go.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well then ghost or mummies?
Oh my God, dude, you are just hitting the spot. Bro, my mom is going to go to Egypt this year and see the pyramids. And she's leaving in 3 weeks.
Oh, snap. Shout out to Mama Swifty.
Mama Swifty. Swifty travels.
Safe travels. Matter of fact, let's shout that out.
Yeah,
Swifty
safe travels to Swifty Travels, man. And go check out her stuff. She's going to be doing tons of videos on Egypt. I'm so excited for her.
That is so dope.
She is so excited. She's a little nervous because, to be honest, Egypt is very close to the Gaza Strip, and there's a lot of stuff going on there.
I just realized something. Ghosts are just homeless mummies.
You're right, because mummies are
really ghosts that just have bodies and they can dance.
The only reason why they move is because they were casted, right?
Oh snap! They just ghost with bodies.
Mummies. The whole idea behind mummies, if I'm not mistaken, they would bury these deceased people with their riches too.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
For good luck and for a safe passing into the afterlife and all kinds of other things. So mummies, and what's weird about mummification is it genuinely does preserve.
Right. And what would you be buried with if you had to choose one thing? Like this thing, I don't want nobody having it when I'm gone. It's my shit. Your compressor?
I'm kidding.
That's crazy.
I just love compressors so much, dude. No. I'm going to say this hypothetically, but let's say 10, 20 years from now, if I pass and let's say I have the love of my life, I'd probably want to be buried with some sort of locket or trinket that represents my love for that person.
Aww.
Probably, yeah. Because, you want your love to be timeless and whatnot.
Oh, dang. Wow. That was good. I was going to say my PS5.
A Rams jersey, Packers jersey. Some cheese, bro.
That is hilarious.
So here's one of the things. I'm going to use this as a perfect segue, dude, because there's one thing that haunts me really bad, more than mummies. And it's something that is such a widely discussed topic, were the pyramids even built by humans? Or were they built by extraterrestrials.
That is I've heard great arguments from people who say things like people have tried to recreate pyramids, and the way that you would have to perfectly chisel those, there's no way
The weight?
that the technology could have perfectly done it back
No way.
then.
No way that the
But
weight of the bricks and the humans.
I heard a conspiracy theory, though,
Oh, it's getting good.
that people only say that aliens made the pyramids because they don't want to give credit to black people.
Ah,
They'd rather say aliens came and did it than just admit that the Africans did some good
well,
shit.
they say that they're too like the brick size are like they're too heavy for even a large amount of slaves to move. And I guess I only say slaves because I'm pretty sure there was like only slaves.
I'm sure the Pharaoh didn't help.
Right. And there's also been theories about the pharaohs being the aliens themselves. But we won't even dive into that yet. But, different engineering accomplishments that pyramid had no modern AC system, no modern vent system.
Right.
And they were still somehow able to develop in the hot, scalding's not the word, smoldering maybe? I don't know what the word is. Incredibly hot desert of Egypt. They found a way to create a self-cooling, self-vented building.
Crazy.
It's insane.
Which leads to a couple of questions, right? Because if everything you just said is true, they did that. But I know a lot of people use that as proof to say there's no way that they could have done that. But I think maybe we're not considering another possibility. Maybe they were just smarter than us.
That's very true.
Maybe they were just better and stronger than us.
We've seen a lot of that. And there's also rumors that these might, because one of the largest telltale signs is that when they date the materials back from the pyramids, the materials date back to longer than when the humans were said to have lived there. And the difference is insane. It's 8,000 plus years.
Do you think aliens came down and was just like, let's go ahead and knock out this one miracle and then bounce?
I have a lot of theories about it, but I think it's a possibility that the pyramids could have been built by a civilization that was actually advanced and smart like us.
That makes sense.
And that civilization has since either been wiped or restarted, or if anything, if you want to really move into the things that we're going to get there, we're slowly getting to what freaks me out. But one of the things that's very possible is that whatever entity built these certain things, it's very clear they had to be aligned with the stars. They had to. Right. Because there are several places around the world that are so astronomically accurate, like Stonehenge in England, for example.
Yeah. And Detroit.
Exactly. That it's almost impossible to ignore, right? There's another place in New Mexico called Chaco Canyon. I don't know if you've heard of Chaco Canyon.
Never heard of it. That's a real place?
Chaco Canyon, dude, real place. It is one of those spiritual, like there's lots of kivas and meeting ritual areas, and there are also buildings and clocks built out of stone structures that allow, as the sun passes, it has slivers of light that will tell you the time, and different. It's honestly incredible, and but in that case, there's a large possibility that, and this is going to tie into tons of different stuff, but there's a large possibility that whoever created the pyramids are now coexisting with us currently in our oceans.
Oh, snap.
I know that wasn't coming. Nobody was expecting that one. But we're seeing a lot of UFO sightings. We're seeing a lot of documented on radar, which matches with the witnesses.
I saw one once.
With the UFO?
I saw one, and I've
seen
crazy.
One too.
And everybody who was in my squad at that time, this was when I was in the military.
Okay. So this is actually, I really want to ask you, because we see these occurrences happen a ton over military establishments.
A lot of military UFO. Now, I saw one back when I was stationed in North Carolina. Me and my squad, we were out at the airfield doing PT in the morning. You do your physical training. We were up at 5:30 in the morning. We were all doing sit-ups or something. And then all of a sudden, there was this super bright light in the sky because the sun hadn't even risen yet.
Okay.
So it was very easy to see there was a big ball of just light. Well, it was like a weird ball with a tail shooting across the sky fast.
Uh-huh.
And then it just disappears. And everybody looked up and we were like, because it didn't look like a comet or
I was going
like
to say, the
anything
first
like that.
thing that comes to mind when you describe something like that would it be like some sort of meteor or something.
But the fact that it just disappeared was the weirdest thing. And we all just like looked at each other. And it was so weird because it looked like it was close enough to us to where we would see if it landed somewhere.
Right.
But it didn't. It just shot across the sky and vanished. And we all saw it. It was a very weird thing. I don't know. Still can't explain it. It was just strange.
You know, I've seen several meteors, so I know kind of what that they look like. I've seen ones that are like small streaks in the sky, and then I've seen ones that are like bright where you watch them burn up in the atmosphere. Like I've seen those too. My experience, you know, I was laying out on the driveway, you know, just in the evening of a friend's house, and there was an object that honestly, it was in the distance. It was a light, kind of looked like a star, right?
Yeah.
But it also looked like an airplane, like in the sense of like it didn't have the flashing lights, but it kind of had like, it looks like a metallic body, and it didn't look like it was in space. It looked like it was in our atmosphere.
Right.
And I was watching it, and it wasn't moving like what you hear. You hear nowadays a lot of ping pong, tic tac, like,
Yeah.
you know, jagged. It was very still and steady. And me and my friend, I was pointing it out, and then all of a sudden, it's been consistently steady, and then all of a sudden, pew, gone.
Oh, okay.
Right, and
Yeah.
I got so scared that I ran inside the house and didn't come out the rest of the night. I was so scared, and I was afraid because my biggest fear is if you're now. Keep in mind, I grew up with a lot of alien stigma. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you are one to witness that, you are now a target.
You on the list.
Exactly.
They coming for that.
That's why I was so scared.
Oh, yeah.
And I grew up in New Mexico, and when you grow up in New Mexico, you are surrounded by the stigma of Roswell.
Yeah.
And the Roswell incident. And like if you go down to Roswell, and I've been to Roswell several times, and I've been to the Alien Museum in Roswell.
Is it super creepy?
It's a little cheesy, actually.
Oh, really?
It's a little cheesy.
Oh.
But there's other parts of it that are pretty cool.
Gotcha.
But because the Roswell incident is highly debated. But it is so ingrained that like the lampposts in Roswell are alien faces.
Oh, shit.
It's everywhere. And it really is kind of their selling point,
Word.
honestly.
It makes sense.
But
you got to lean into it.
Dude,
Yeah.
after that, man, I started getting real paranoid. And I started like, I had dreams about like different alien encounters. Like I had dreams that like these objects were hovering over my house, and,
Oh, snap.
and lights were coming in through all the windows, and I was freaking out, and I had a lot of really terrifying dreams. It was, so for that reason, I know that we're still doing this or that, but like I wanted to see if you were going to bring up aliens, because aliens to me are the most fascinating but also haunting things in my life.
They are scary because, what I think, actually, first of all, I want to say, after hearing your story, I think what I saw was a meteor.
Maybe.
Your story sounds way crazier.
It's not anything like what I was being told now, like all these Tic Tac.
Yeah.
It didn't behave like these videos, though.
Yeah, but one thing that's really creepy about aliens to me is that it's hard for us as humans to imagine not being the apex, the
true.
top dog.
It's
The
true.
fact that there could be something smarter and stronger than us is terrifying.
You know, I think that the odds. No, I'm gonna just put this out here, just for the record. I think that the odds of there being aliens out there, like that are from another planet, are way less than the odds of the aliens we're observing now to just be time traveling humans. I think that it's way more likely.
You think that it's more likely for there to be time travel?
Absolutely. Well,
Really?
and I don't say necessarily time travel as in like the stereotypical way, but if you think about how time is relative to mass and gravity, like you were starting to pick up signs from these UFOs that that their movement is gravity based, right?
Gotcha.
And so like if you were a human inside one of these objects moving around the way that these government officials say they are,
Right.
the G-force is like 300 plus Gs. Like there's no possible way you would survive as a human unless there was a way to manipulate a gravitational field around you in such a way that inertia does not apply to anything inside of the field. Therefore, you wouldn't experience the G-force around, because the G-force you feel in a plane is you relative to Earth's gravity.
Right.
But if you could manipulate gravity in a field around you, then you're no longer subject to Earth's gravity.
So some of these things we see moving oddly, do you think they're somehow like future tech where people are able to come back and view our present time?
I almost do, but I haven't sold into the idea that they can go back in time and forward in time necessarily. But what I have sold into the idea is if you have the ability to control and warp gravity, the way that these things are being moved, it seems in such a way that they're taking the gravity in front of them and they're warping it and then they're pushing it behind them. And so that's what accelerates it forward. And so as they bounce back and forth, what we're starting to see is like the fact that in the perspective of being inside the craft, the gravity moving around it, if you were looking at the Earth in our time relative to the planet Earth would be moving in near slow motion. And if you're a human witnessing one of these things, they're both happening in time that's relative to each party. But the problem is the time is not correlated. So the humans on Earth are witnessing these people manipulating time at a faster rate. And so what we see to our human eye is these objects merely ping-ponging around at insatiable speeds because they're so fast. But in reality, it's only fast to us because how we view it is like watching them fly in fast forward.
That would be so crazy if what you're saying is...
I'm putting it out because I've done a lot of research and studying on at least what's given to the public. Yeah. And it makes complete sense. And the weirdest thing about this is that these people that have spoken up, like Bob Lazar in the 80s, then Bob Lazar in the 2010s, then you see the object that came out in 2004, then you see what the Nazis were working on in the 1938s, like whatever it is.
Right.
For some reason, like these people, they've never met, they've never talked, but the observations and the things that they're saying, they all line up. And they're all very similar. And they describe a similar behaving specimen or material.
Right. Now, if this is, because, I mean, it's making sense, but let's just say it is true. Do you think that the government is well aware of what it is and they just are able to...
That one's tough.
You know, keep it under wraps? Because
one's tough.
I would argue no, only because, bro, I don't think, okay, if the government knows, there's only like the highest level of people who know.
Which are not even people we know about, by the way.
Like, the president wouldn't be privy.
No.
You can't trust the president.
The president talks too much.
Exactly.
Way too much.
If what you're saying is true, I think only the highest level, it has to be the highest, like beyond top secret.
Right.
Maybe a security clearance that we don't even know exists.
Right.
It could be possible.
Yeah. I am going to probably advocate for the fact that the highest government officials might be aware that there's something going on.
Right.
But I'm going to advocate that the contact and communication hasn't directly happened. I don't think it has.
That makes sense.
I think that the government is aware of this going on and they are genuinely, they know that there's a deliberate attempt being made. Like, because these things happen. I was just reading something, 1952, there was like a big sighting over DC and they scrambled jets. Jets. It was over the Capitol.
Oh, snap. And that's terrifying if another, because, you know, we assume that our government would be the one responsible for, but what if another government has information about these things?
You notice the sightings happen either A, over military bases, or B,
all the time.
During times of nuclear conflict.
All the time. Cold War. But it makes sense because if you were traveling to, let's call it the past, right? And you needed to get intel, you might look on military bases if you were looking for intel. So that does give credence to the idea that it's not aliens. It's people in the future looking back to learn something.
Could be, you know, and the only thing that justifies this whole ocean thing is we're seeing now that these objects are what's called, I want to say it's called like transmedium. I'm trying to remember. It's where they can they can fly into water and then in air and then in space. They can fly in basically all three mediums. And they do it at the same rate. They go into water and they're flying at like 80 plus knots. Like they're flying at the same speed that they are in the air, and they're behaving in such a way that it seems as though if there's any place to hide from humans,
right,
hide from humans in the place that we only know less than 5% about, the oceans.
Snap.
Because what are we just learning about the oceans? We're learning that there are ways to oxidize materials inside of ocean water to create oxygen.
Right.
We're learning that there is 90+% of the ocean that's not discovered yet.
Right. And that if you go into the ocean, don't do it in a tiny submarine that's being piloted by a PlayStation controller.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe
and we're
don't do
also learning not to go to the Bermuda Triangle or other places that
don't.
mess up stuff, like Mariana Trench areas.
The Bermuda Triangle is so scary.
Dude.
Fascinating. Oh, man.
Dude, there is a large possibility there's something going on there.
The way that ships and planes have like disappeared over that area, it's just so crazy. It's creepy.
Like, because I understand the argument of the magnetic forces being different in different parts of the earth. There are different parts of this planet where magnetic forces are so weird and things misbehave and your compass might not show the right direction.
Right.
That happens. It's possible that the Bermuda Triangle is simply a very large area in which the magnetic forces conflict or whatever. I speak like a scientist. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Where like you lose all sense of direction, but to just disappear and not end up somewhere else, you know what I mean?
That is crazy.
Why? Where are they going?
Yeah, because mass don't just disappear.
No.
It has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
You
got me thinking now,
dude. So that's just like, I mean, I talk about this because aliens are like one of my most passionate subjects, dude. But they're so fascinating. But they're so scary because we are at the will of, if it's even exist, it might not even exist at all. But if it does, we ain't shit.
Compared
we ain't shit.
Right. It could also be that we're so uninteresting to them that they have no reason to bother us. Like we're more just like koalas to them.
Exactly.
There's probably mad other species just like us, and they don't look at us as special.
Right.
When we see things looking at us or viewing us, they're just looking at. They just went to the zoo. Right.
Like literally. Like they're looking at us like a bunch of dumb monkeys.
We're probably not a threat.
No, we're not a
We're
threat
all
at
killing each other.
There's literally something where these jet fighters have 4K, and this was confirmed, just to quote my sources. I've been saying a lot of shit without sources. There's
it's okay. Throw a couple of them in the description.
There's this guy named like Louis Elizondo, who's like the former ATIP director, and ATIP is like the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, I believe.
Okay.
And it was created in like, I want to say maybe 2018 or something like that, or maybe a little bit earlier, and he left in 2018. Something happened in 2018. And anyway, he's the guy who had access to a lot of the information that the government has, and he has confirmed that we do have 4K footage of these objects splitting like F-16 like planes formations like mid-air. So they, how they fly so tight?
Yeah.
They have splitting them.
Oh, so they're just messing with us at this point.
They're that's exactly what he's saying.
Messing with us.
They aren't harming us at all. They're not doing anything to harm.
Good.
But they are very clearly and deliberately showing their superiority to our technology.
I do wonder,
by just messing with us.
I wonder if aliens could like cure racism. Like just bear with me. Like
you're right though.
If they came down and they were superior to us in every way, we have to band together as humans. We got to let that other petty stuff go.
You're absolutely right. So much would change.
What if that would get us to just be on one accord as humans?
It absolutely would.
We got to put all our forces together. We got to work with China.
China.
We got to work with China. Yeah.
Dude, it is
South Korea would probably still say, "Hey, fuck y'all, we not." Or sorry, North Korea. South Korea's cool. Shout out to South Korea.
Like South Korea.
North Korea would probably still be like, "I don't care if we all die, as long as y'all die." That's
for real. Like, dude, it's just one of those things that blows my mind every single time, man. And I mean, aliens are just such a hot trending topic, but it's also so fascinating.
It really is. Did my camera shut off?
You still good?
Oh, okay. I just thought because mine didn't have a red thing around the box.
I think it would change it. Yeah, it's just
we
like
good.
We good.
My bad.
No, it's totally good.
So no, I actually didn't. Spoiler alert! I did not put aliens on the list.
Okay.
But I'm glad I didn't, because they would have just walked through everything else.
It's true.
So I'm glad I didn't.
It's true. You're right.
But how about this? I will add them to the very end.
Okay. Leave them
So
at
that
the end.
way, whatever wins the rest of
Goes
the list
against it.
has to go against
Okay,
aliens.
so we left off at ghosts.
We were at ghosts and mummies.
Okay, mummies. Okay, yeah, you're right.
All right, so mummies or zombies?
Oh my god. Bro, no, we can't go another 30 minutes. Bro, I'm going to go mummies. I think zombies are possible because things happen. Fungus is very interesting to observe.
Okay.
But
yeah.
How things can die and become alive.
Yeah.
And, I think, to be honest, though, I feel like if there is going to be a zombie virus, it will be human engineered.
Fair enough.
We will create it. Yeah, it's going to happen.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Oh, man, this
It'll
is
happen.
the scariest episode you've done.
Man, this is fitting. Very fitting for October.
Zombies or getting to the gym and realizing you forgot your headphones at home.
Hey, you want to know something crazy? People are going to give me so much hate.
What?
I raw dog the gym. No headphones.
You don't listen to music in the gym?
Nope. Nah, I used to.
Wait. So you just
I raw
pump it
dog
out
it, bro.
to whatever the
I'm
gym
listening
is playing?
to like the happiest, upbeat, Taylor Swift, EDM.
You just listen to other dudes grunting?
Dude, yeah, it's tough. It's rough. I just raw dog it, bro.
What?
Here's why. I used to go to the gym a lot with AirPods.
Right.
Okay. And AirPods would like fall out frequently.
Okay.
They fall out of my ear. Then my AirPods broke. I blew them. Too many reference demos where the bass isn't mixed right, Blew them.
Oh, man.
And then from there, I wore like wired headphones once. No. Can't do wired headphones.
no.
At the
Wired
gym. It's too
headphones.
dangerous. And then I don't have a pair of over ears that's Bluetooth. I don't own one.
Really?
So I don't use it.
Sounds like that would be a good Christmas gift for Dean.
Even
London
if I
Swift.
did, though.
Put that on your wish list, bro.
You know how sweaty the ear things would get?
Oh, for sure.
And I'm not
Yeah.
huge on it. And, I just find myself taking smaller breaks. And like I find myself having better workouts without it. However, I will give you credit to this. When the song is right, I could lift more.
You be in the
And I'd
gym
be
listening
passionate.
to pump it up, pump the
it up.
jam.
Yeah, yo, for real.
You been there listening to Marky Mark
Whatever's
and the
on
Funky
there,
Bunch.
dude.
Good vibrations, feel it.
The number one thing, now correct me if I'm wrong, but the number one thing to have headphones for is cardio.
Oh, for
Because
sure.
cardio, in the gym at least, is so
It's tough.
boring.
It's tough.
It's boring.
And, I like to listen to podcasts, too, while I'm doing cardio
sure.
or while I'm lifting, too, because I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts.
Yeah.
I love true crime podcasts. Also, one of my professors does a podcast that helps clarify all the material that we learned that week. So I have to listen to that podcast just to understand some of the material.
Okay, that's actually really nice.
Yeah,
though,
so
dude.
a lot of
Wow.
times in the gym, I'll be listening to my professor's pod. And oh my goodness, honestly, I get some of the best workouts when I'm just paying. I don't even want to. Well, first of all, shout outs to my professor. I'm not going to say his name.
This guy's got to have in your corner, man.
Hey, man, look. I had no idea how good of a tool podcasting is for education. I'm learning. This is the first time that one of my teachers has had a podcast.
That's really, really cool.
Is that a new thing? I've never heard of this. A professor using podcasts to aid the lectures.
Yeah, I think I've only had one professor do that, and it was definitely not like an established podcast that they did for fun that had external viewers. It was more of a professor doing like 10-minute things that was audio that you could opt into if you wanted to, and it only happened once.
Yeah, no, this is a game changer because I will say this. If there's anybody out there who's in education and looking for a way to get into content creation, I do see a wide open market for that. There seems to, because I'm one of those people. I'm constantly on YouTube trying to clarify things, learn things.
Yeah.
And
YouTube's amazing.
Sometimes, yes, you can find anything you want. But man, that space seems to be wide open. If you have knowledge about a niche topic, like something about, like even with tech, with your compressors you love.
Oh,
if
sure.
If somebody has an issue and you just spent 45 minutes researching how to solve that issue, you can make a quick 30-second YouTube short video showing somebody how to solve that issue. Because if you had the issue,
Someone else
they
does.
will too. That is a great way for content creators. Any issue you come across, whether it's academic or whether it's tech related, if it took you a long time to research and find the answer, there may be a bunch of other people who are going to have that same problem. So you should probably write it down and write down the solution and make a short video about how to solve that thing.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's there have been so many times, dude, where I have an issue and I can't figure it out, and like the internet doesn't know.
Yeah, it's tough.
You know, and it needs to be done. And I mean, I don't know, the whole fact that your professor's providing this too, like, dude, this is next level, bro.
Facts.
That's next level, bro. Oh my God, man.
I still can't believe you are raw dog in the gym. That is.
Hey, yeah, it's rough.
I learn something new every time we sit down together. I learn something new about you, and I learned that you don't listen to music at the gym. You just listen to.
It's bad. I won't even admit. Like, I mean, it's bad.
I also learned that you have a lot of alien theories.
Yes, dude.
I didn't know that about you.
Yeah,
that's new. And you know what? It's interesting because a lot of times when you listen to some artist's music, you can guess that they might be into certain things. I would have never gotten that from your music.
Oh, dude, you know what? I've got a song that would be great for like spacey, alien-esque.
Can we please hear it?
Dude, it's called Presence Interlude.
Let's hear it.
Off of Fog intro.
Oh, I do know that song.
It is like a minute and a half. It's not even that long. But and I'm not even referring to the lyrics. The lyrics are like, you know, something falling apart. Like, you know, my whole life's falling apart pretty much. Like that's kind of what it's about. But sonically, like it's just fluid and chewy, and there's just so much space and stars that, like, I don't know, like it's weird how we associate our music. But if you're gonna associate any song with today's episode, like Presence Interlude, check it out. That one's really good.
I knew we'd eventually get to talking about music.
Well, we had to tie in a song.
I knew we'd get there eventually.
Not the Demon and Swift show without a song. Yeah, we need a song. So I'm going to play Presence Interlude real quick so y'all are on the same page as us. Recently, my life been falling apart. Going straight to the start. I don't wanna deal with this alone. You're still in my heart. Recently, my life been falling apart. Going straight to the start. No, I don't wanna deal with this alone. You're still in my heart.
Wasn't that great?
Look, man, it is pretty good. It's just one of those songs, man, that like you don't see it coming. You know, I mean, the chorus, it repeats itself. It's simple, but it also, and when I was producing that, like, I was actually like amazed. I was creating with some of these soundscapes, like as I was doing it. Like I was using like some stock Logic presets that they have, and just like messing with it and putting things in reverse. And
yeah, I don't know if you mentioned this on camera or off, but we spoke about your process for producing that album.
Yeah.
And it shocked me to learn that you produced everything on there in like around the same time period.
Yeah. So like a lot of my albums are different, or let's maybe for 8-9 months I'm working constantly. This Fog album was an opportunity for me during COVID where I was unemployed and I was actually a student. So
yeah, you got to lock in.
I got to lock in, dude.
What is the difference? Because, okay, real quick, I know we might be out of time, right?
We're okay.
But for the artist out there, this is going to be very important. And I mean, even for the fans, this is really cool. So when you're making a project as an artist, there is no one way to do it. Sometimes Like, for instance, I was just watching an interview with Dochi from TDE.
She's you put me on today.
She's nice. She's from Top Dog Entertainment, and Top Dog Entertainment has a high standard of the products that they put out. They don't just put out whack albums. And she was saying that the way Top works with his artists is they, he'll just make sure that they're in the studio consistently every day while living their life. And they just make music. He listens to everything, and eventually they pick out the best, most cohesive songs from that, and then choose a direction to go.
Okay.
They don't start making an album with a sound in mind.
Oh, okay.
They just live life. Let's get in the studio every day, see what happens, and if a couple of songs stand out, that's the direction that we're going.
Got it.
Now, that's one way to do it. You just make stuff and see what happens.
Right.
But another way to do it is to really lock yourself in a room and not leave until you have a sound that you're happy with. And that is a fun way to do it, but it is a stressful way to do it.
Yeah, it's stressful because producing's not as smooth as you think. People, you can go in and put in 14 hours and realize that you didn't really come up with anything you like.
Right.
But it's also, there was that time hit perfect because it was just like the right time of being excited about having all these instrumental tools being fresh to me. So I was excited to use all these new things I had just learned.
Right.
And then on top of that, I was also exploring, a kind of a new sound where I was coming out of the kind of Black Bear influence and moving more into discovering who I am as a vocalist. And as a producer too, because I made that whole album. And that was one of those moments where when I think about singles, it's very much just I do what I do in the studio, I live life, and I write, and whatever happens, happens. Those are how the singles come up.
Right.
But when I work on a project, it is a set, deliberate project with a theme. It's got a theme of a topic, and it's also got a theme of the sounds, and it needs to be cohesive, and it needs to sound similar and intentional.
Right.
And,
it can't just sound like a
mixtape.
Right.
That's how I see it. Yeah, because I actually call Fog a tape, actually. Like, I call it, I used to, before I released it as an album, it was Fog the Mixtape. And it was like that because it was a lot of songs that I just put together. But I ended up weeding them out. I took them out, and I didn't finish like 6 of them. And I made it a cohesive project as I started to develop more into Fog and what Fog meant to me. Like, a large part about Fog is like, in college I was, let's just say I was not sober all the time. And what comes with that is an insane brain fog that you have to live in and navigate. And I was a highly functional student, and I also worked a job. So I was living in that brain fog a lot, and there was a lot of things that I felt like I was missing or feelings that I hadn't felt before that I wanted to acknowledge about that like brain fog. So I wrote that whole album to kind of encapsulate like life within the fog.
That is very, very cool.
And so all of that, if you want the best encapsulation of what that's like, listen to Fog Intro. It's the very first song. It's a 3.5-minute song on the album. And not only do I sing about literally living in the fog, but sonically it creates a fog in your ears.
And the way that those songs flow from one to the next, oh my goodness. We could have a whole separate conversation about the track list order.
Okay,
sequencing.
yeah, it's a big thing.
Sequencing of an album
that was
is
important.
Very important. And I know a lot of artists who do it different ways. Some people, they have a list of all the tracks they want on their album, and then they put it on shuffle, and they just listen to it in a bunch of different orders
and see what
until
comes
something
and what
sounds
works.
right.
Yeah.
But you obviously didn't do that. You seem like you went into it with a game plan, because the way that those songs flow into each other, that's intentional.
It was a big challenge of mine. I actually really, really was inspired by The Afterglow by Black Bear. It's my favorite album of his. And if you listen to that album start to finish all the way through, all 6 songs on the project cohesively flow into the next.
I love that.
We see that in Mansions too. They do that as well.
Yes.
And it's so it's a way to say this is not a song, this is a story.
Exactly,
right?
exactly.
And I had, let's say I haven't stepped into that realm since, because the amount of focus and like effort it takes to do that is insane.
Yeah.
But going back then, I, was working on like, in order to achieve that, there's a bunch of different ways. You could make the song and then figure out how you're going to transition it later. Or like there were times when I was working on the This Could Be project, like the This Could Be, You and Me, Flowing into Gold,
Right.
that all three of those songs are in one Logic session file.
Which is crazy.
And this is just a 10-minute long song that I like catered out to have the exact stopping points. And then what was really hard is the trial and error of putting your song back to back and listening to them flow into the next, and then being like, shit, there was a little pop there. Like there can't be a pop between the two. Like, it has to be seamless. It has to be perfect. And like when you export a track, at the end or the start of a track, there's often like kind of like a little pop because the audio's starting. So you have to like get your crossfades exact, and you got to make things like literally perfect. Like there can't even be a 1 second pause. It has to be flawlessly, like you got to have a metronome on it and know that it can flow perfect.
And you know what? It's not lost on the listener when you do these things. We might not be able to tell you the technical thing you did, but we feel it.
Yeah.
Because while you were speaking, I'm thinking of other albums that did this.
Lots of them do.
Yes.
It's actually like one of the coolest things. Breakins has this album. What's it called? Is it called Deepfake? Oh my God, hang on. I gotta get this because this one's just worth it, dude. This guy, it's too good.
Yeah, while you're getting it, I do just want to say that one of my favorite details that I love in an album is sequencing. I love when an artist is deliberate about where songs sit on an album. I love it because there's no one way to do it.
No.
Some albums sound good to have all the upbeat songs in the front and then smooth it out in the end. But some albums go on like an ebb and a flow, up and down, and there's no one way. But there's one album, Drake, Views from the Six, that I always say, if you listen to it in the order that he put it out, it's cool. But honestly, that album sounds better on shuffle.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
There are some albums like that,
Yeah.
Then there are some albums like I finally found it. Breakins has this album called Hypochondriac. And I'm just going to recommend that to anybody because this guy is one of the most influential artists of our time. He's so in tune with his emotional delivery. And I don't know, I know that he produces, but I don't know like to what extent he produced this album. I'm sure he did some, but it is just one of those flawless, every song flows into the next, and like unbelievable tracks, unbelievable job he did.
Word.
And when you can hear somebody else do what you worked so hard to do, you have so much more appreciation and be like, wow, like the amount of effort it took to string all of these ideas together melodically.
Right.
Like that was the number one thing about these two songs. I'll even play it at the end of this. I have these two songs in Fog called This Could Be, and then it flows into You and Me. And the whole song is kind of about this could be you and me, right? But the melody, there's like a melody in it, this could be you and me, something like that kind of, but that melody carries through. And then in the next song, we have a different chord progression, different lyrics, different like beat, but that melody is still fitting within the new chord progression. I'm thematically carrying these topics and melodies through the different songs.
Right.
You know what I mean? That way you can be like, oh, I heard that, but now it's being used in a new light.
Right.
And it's just, it's one of those really cool things, man. I like it. I'm really excited to step into that realm and do that again as an artist, but it's not going to happen until I can deliberately not only have all the tools and the timings right, but take like a week or two off from work and just really go at it, man.
That's fair. Because if you are coming home from a actual job, locking in and treating music as your job, there's just not enough time in one day.
You're right.
To do that.
You're right.
I feel you. it would be best to take some time off just so
Yeah.
you can really give it all. Because, bro, making music with your leftover energy after work feels
It's
bad.
not the same.
It feels
You
bad.
have to get in a deep flow state to be able to create insane projects like that. At least for me. You know, some people might be able to stop and start as they go. I'm just not that way.
Yeah.
You know, and creativity is a very challenging thing to tackle. So, but anyway, I'll finish it up with playing those two songs. Like, This Could Be flows into You and Me. I'll play them back and forth. Like, I feel like I should play them both back to back
I think so.
with no break in between.
Yeah, just so they
Because-
can see the vibe of that switch
Yeah,
up.
but I'm not. Here's the thing. Here's the mystery, though. I'm not going to tell you when the song switched. It's your
Oh.
job to go to Apple Music, Spotify,
Hey.
and stream. Fuck! I was so close. Hang on. We got this.
That is funny. We were
We got
almost
this.
there,
We got
bro.
this. It's your job to go to Apple Music and Spotify and stream Dean London Swift's Fog album and listen and find out where I actually divided the songs and changed them to. There's one other inspiration I had about all this. I don't know if you've ever heard Jaden Smith.
Of course.
I love his music, actually.
Yeah.
And he did an album called Iris and Sire
Right.
that were incredible.
Yes.
And one of the biggest inspirations in that time, like in 2020, was I actually gave a very critical listen to, it's called Blue, the first 4 tracks on Sire. And the way that they flow, it's like the first song is B, second song is L, U,
Right.
and then E, right? And the way that they flow together is like, it made me feel so awesome. Like I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. And I wanted to do that. Like,
Word.
so that's what really, really got me to, like, Black Bear's Afterglow and then Jaden Smith's, you know, Iris and Sire are like the 2 biggest inspirations for that particular element of my album for sure.
Word. I would have never guessed.
Yeah, man, those are some really good ones. You
Well,
gotta check those out.
The Black Bear part, I could have guessed.
I know people are like, duh,
Yeah.
because you use the same
Yeah,
effects and shit.
but not the Jaden Smith one.
Yeah, for sure. It's really, really good. So, I mean, go to those right now, listen to This Could Be, and just turn shuffle off, let it flow through, and just like let it play. And after like maybe 7 songs or so, it'll start being like the pop where one fades out and the next one fades in, and then it's like a completely new thing. But at least the first 7 are like, they go in with each other. It works nicely.
I found a way to feel my soul when I run away from all the hoes. They keeping me down, they want me to stay. I'm leaving this town, get out of my way, cause I keep moving up. I handle my risk, I gave them all love. Now I won't even miss the ones that hurt you, because you hurt me today. I see what it could be, I want it to last. This ain't how it should be, we're stuck in the past. But we ain't moving on, no we ain't growing up. I can't take this no more, but I'm not giving up. Oceans, West Coast weekends, I'm mostly tripping out the 702. I drive real slow, don't trust no hoes to follow all the rules that I do. I gotta change my mindset. This could be right, but we seeing it in price tags, baby. This real life running out of chances. This could be you, and it would be good if you knew what you're doing. Thursday night, fooling on all your features, girl. At the top of Caesar's, girl. I'm a high achiever, best believe I'm here for this. I'm thinking about the time we had to pocket what we really felt. We pushed it down and let the years go by. I'm wondering if I got my shit together, made a record. Would you notice, baby? You're the reason why. One day you'll see me far away from the things I love. The next day you'll see me doubling down on what I could have lost for you. Tried to sleep, couldn't stop. 3 a.m. staying up. I'm thinking about the time we had to pocket what we really felt. We pushed it down and let the years go by. I'm wondering if I got my shit together, made a record. Would you notice, baby? You're the reason why. I see our future ahead of us and picture all this together. I'm not sure that this could be you and me. This could be you and me. Travel places you never seen, baby. Handle problems you got for free, baby. This could be you and me. This could be you and me. I'm thinking about the time we had to pocket what we really felt. We pushed it down and let the years go by. I'm wondering if I got my shit together, made a record. Would you notice, baby? You're the reason why. I see our future ahead of us and picture all this together. I'm not sure that this could be you and me. This could be you and me. Travel places you never see, baby. Handle problems you got for free, baby. This could be you and me. This could be you and me.
Word.
Man, cheat code DeBarge.
Yep,
Thank you for
yep.
being here with me, bro. We're talking
Man.
about aliens and all kinds of random shit.
Anytime, man. No, thank you out there. Thank you for spending your time with us. I appreciate it because y'all could have been anywhere in the world and y'all chose to be here
You
with us.
chose to be with us.
Thank you for that. That was so sweet.
Hope you learned something new about our completely non-factual based alien theories.
Yeah, drop your alien theories in the comments. I want to hear them all.
I want to hear if you guys
What do
have
y'all
an
think?
alien story.
Who built the pyramids?
Who
For
built the
real?
pyramids?
Who
Who
did
built
it?
them?
Tell us.
Please. Please.
Yeah.